over the threshold. I'm Divyansh, your guide on this journey where we break down tech, coding, life, and everything in between. Wait. Did I mention? We did it specially without the corporate jargon and Stack Overflow copy pasting. So, Aj, we have a very special guest to kick off the series. Someone जिसने एल्गोरिथमिक प्रॉब्लम तो भर भर के ही प्रैक्टिस कर दिया ऑन वेरियस कॉम्पिटिटिव कोडिंग वेबसाइट्स बहुत ही ज़्यादा डिफरेंट आर्किटेक्ट्स और डिज़ाइंस के साथ काम किया है एंड इवन पब्लिश एंड रिसर्च ऑन कोविड 19 डिटेक्शन इन वाइल इन कॉलेज currently he is leading teams making system at WIOM. Oh, did I forget to mention that a big time friend and a college junior. Please welcome Adarsh Kumar.
Thank you, Divyans, for inviting me in this podcast. It's
Yeah,
a
so
pleasure for
as being the first here, no pressure at all. कोई pressure नहीं लेना है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
Just be yourself.
बिल्कुल
अगर गलत भी गया तो we can always blame it on unheld exception as engineers do.
जस्ट लाइक विदाउट पॉडकास्ट मैं जैसा रहता
Yes, let's jump to the first section, right? Code and beyond. I called it as code and beyond. So the first question is like the non-classic one. Have you ever rage quit debugging? Like you got too much angry that you need to quit debugging for some time and then restart coding.
yes, definitely. Like I feel lots of times like in my current organization, so एक प्रोजेक्ट था, so like उसमें टास्क ये था कि हम एक नया डेटाबेस इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे जो कि नो एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस था. इससे पहले
Right.
ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सिर्फ एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस ही यूज हो रही थी. बट क्या है कि 2-3 साल कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक डेटाबेस से कनेक्ट होने के बाद ऑन द टॉप ऑफ बहुत सारी प्रोडक्ट बन जाती है फॉर द डिफरेंट लाइक डेटा टीम के लिए प्रोडक्ट बन गई, डिफरेंट टीम के लिए, बिकॉज दे आर ऑल कंज्यूमिंग दैट प्रोडक्ट्स एंड डेटाबेस, या तो रेप्लिका से रेप्लिका बना के काइंड ऑफ. बट इंट्रोड्यूसिंग न्यू डेटाबेस इज ए वेरी बिग चैलेंज कि एक पहले तो आप एक एग्जिस्टिंग टेबल को दूसरे टेबल में शिफ्ट करोगे. बट यू नो एसक्यूएल में सब फेमिलियर होते हैं सेलेक्ट एस्ट्रिक से, ग्रुप बाय, देयर लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स जो मतलब एक्सपर्टीज डेवलप हो जाती है.
Right.
या बट आप जैसे कि डायनमो डीबी मैंने यूज़ किया था, डेट नो एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस, बट वहाँ पे आप सेलेक्ट स्टिक नहीं कर सकते हो, मतलब वो बहुत हाई कॉस्ट हो जाएगा, राइट. मैं तो AWS चार्ज लेता है अकॉर्डिंग टू कि आप कितनी डेटा स्कैन कर रहे
Right.
हो. ये चैलेंजेस थे. बट ये था कि प्रोडक्शन में न्यू एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस तो लाना ही है, मतलब वो कांस्टेंट नहीं बनाना कि मतलब एसक्यूएल ही है तो एसक्यूएल ही यूज़ करना. बट वहाँ पे एक प्रॉब्लम आई कि जब जब प्रोडक्शन में एक नया टेबल को नो एसक्यूएल में शिफ्ट कर दिया. बट चैलेंज ये रही थी कि उस नो एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस को एसक्यूएल में डालना था क्योंकि
Okay.
दूसरी यूज़ कर रही थी, राइट. इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द प्रॉब्लम, देयर वाज प्रॉब्लम कि पहले तो एक एग्जिस्टिंग टेबल है, D1 टेबल है मान लेते हैं, वो एसक्यूएल में है ना, उस टेबल को नो एसक्यूएल में शिफ्ट कर दिया. बट नो एसक्यूएल का डेटा तो एसक्यूएल में आएगा नहीं, तो उसके लिए एक पाइपलाइन सर्विसेज लिखनी थी. तो वो डायनमो एक फीचर देता है, डायनमो स्ट्रिप करके, जहाँ पे आप कुछ भी टेबल में कुछ भी एक्शन होती है, इंसर्ट, अपडेट और डिलीट काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, यू कैन कैप्चर दैट इवेंट. सो बेस्ड ऑन तो द आइडिया केम कि उस इवेंट्स को कैप्चर कर लेते हैं एंड अकॉर्डिंग डेट वो डेटा उसमें आती है, अकॉर्डिंग टू हम अपने एसक्यूएल में रख देंगे, इससे कि बाकी टीम को हेल्पफुल हो जाएगी. दैट्स द हाई लेवल पे. हाँ, इट्स ए स्केलेबल मॉडल, मतलब इट्स वर्क्स. तो बट जब उसका कोड लिखने गया तो पहले तो एक ये भी चीज़ की थी कि प्रोडक्शन में, राइट, क्योंकि प्रोडक्शन में डेटाबेस को ऑन कर दिया हूँ और स्केल में डायरेक्ट आएंगे, राइट. मतलब लाइक एक दिन में जितने नंबर ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स नॉर्मली आते हैं, सो 1 लाख आ गए, 2 लाख आ गए, अगर मैं जिस स्केल पे अभी राइट नाउ मेरी कंपनी है सीरीज बी स्टेज पे, तो उस पर 2-3 लाख रिकॉर्ड आते हैं एक दिन में. उस एक पर्टिकुलर टेबल की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. तो अब उसके लिए लोकल इन्वायरमेंट में सेटअप भी नहीं कर सकता था. देयर लॉट्स ऑफ टेक्निकल चैलेंजेस कि मतलब मैं अब डेव क्यूए इन्वायरमेंट में कैसे 2-3 लाख वो करूँ, है ना. अब वो भी
फिर तो
स्ट्रीम.
लाइक ऐसे हो गया कि एक स्कोडेंजर बग आ गया आपके पास कि आपको
हाँ
तब तक नहीं पता कि हाउ यू कैन फिक्स इट अंटिल यू हिट प्रोडक्शन.
हाँ, so that's the only
Yeah.
thing. So but I wrote the whole code. It works, but problem ये हो रही थी कि टाइम लग हो रही थी. So let's
Right.
suppose कि some of the products in the production, let's suppose there is some data will come around 1 p.m. in the IST. But in the like whenever the data is copying from that NoSQL to SQL, वो 2-3 घंटे ले रहे थे विथ सर्टेन सेट ऑफ डेटा, बट ड्यू टू सम वेरियस लॉजिक, पता नहीं क्या वो बग था, तो वहाँ पे मुझे काफ़ी प्रॉब्लम फेस होगी वो बग ढूंढने
Right.
में। क्योंकि
Right.
जब भी इफ़ यू थिंक ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग कर लो, चलो ओके इसमें से कुछ अगर चेंज करते हैं तो देखते हैं क्या होता है, अगेन आई हैव टू पुश द कोड इन द प्रोडक्शन ओनली, देयर इज नो एनी क्यू एनवायरनमेंट। तो वो एक बहुत अलग सी मतलब वो प्रॉब्लम रहेगी, मतलब इस चीज़ को टैकल कैसे करें जहाँ पे ओनली प्रोडक्शन इन्वायरमेंट इज योर क्यू एनवायरनमेंट और ए डेव एनवायरनमेंट,
So
क्योंकि
it's like you have the real tester, which are called customers.
हाँ, सो वो चीज़ काफ़ी नाइटमेयर की तरह थी कि
Right.
व्हेनेवर आई पुश द कोड ओके, आई आई थॉट कि अच्छा अब तो काम करेगी, बट फिर भी थोड़ा बहुत एक दिन चल रही थी, बट समहाउ वो ऐसी थी ना कि तो वन ए टाइम मतलब जैसे अपलोड पुश कोड कर दिया, एट दैट टाइम लग रहा था अरे डेटा तो सब बढ़िया आ रहा है, लेकिन
Hmm.
आफ्टर लाइक स्पेंडिंग सम टाइम्स लाइक 7 days 8 days फिर वो चीज़ें वो दिखने लग जाती थी कि यार there is some lag between production database NoSQL to DataSQL
Hmm.
replica database, तो वो चीज़ काफ़ी अलग थी। तो
Yeah.
ये
अब तक कोड करता होगा नाइटमेयर।
हाँ वगैरह।
राइट। मैंने आपका लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल भी देखा, इट सेज लाइक यू हैव वर्कड विद जावा, पाइथन, डॉट नेट और क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म भी AWS Azure. So
हम्म।
my next question is like, if you have to pick just one of the tech stack for your entire life, what will it be?
आई थिंक जावा लाइक इतना लेगेसी है, लाइक 90s से चल रही है,
Hmm.
सो उसके टॉप ऑफ बहुत सारी चीज़ें बिल्डअप हुई है। पहले जावा सिंगल थ्रेडेड थी, देन मल्टी
Hmm.
थ्रेडेड हो गई, राइट नाउ सारी जितनी भी लैंग्वेज सब मल्टी थ्रेडेड है काइंड ऑफ, तो आई विल चूज जावा। बट पाइथन आई यूज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ लाइक वन टाइम काइंड ऑफ टास्क, but so I also most familiar with the oops kind of concept, so that's why I also like Java. I know
Hmm.
Python is also supported oops concept, but it is not so much like famous for this kind of matlab, compared to Java. So but yeah, I choose Java. But
Hmm.
cloud services, I think there's a lots of discussion between like cloud services, or some of the company may using their own server only, like AWS में इतना कॉस्ट पड़ रहा है कि मतलब अपना ही सर्वर बना लेते हैं काइंड
Right.
ऑफ होल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। तो बट हाँ, AWS और एज्योर या GCP काइंड ऑफ सर्विसेज से एक फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी तो हो जाती है कि कोई भी कंपनी को वो क्लाउड की चीज़ें प्रॉब्लम हैंडल नहीं करनी पड़ती है, तो वो खुद पे फोकस कर सकते हैं अपने बिजनेस पे कि उनका कस्टमर को कैसे कट करे, रेदर देन थिंकिंग अबाउट कि इंटरनेट अच्छे से सर्वर में नहीं
Hmm.
आ रहा या कुछ ये वायर डाउन हो गई, तो वो सब चीज़ें आई थिंक AWS काफ़ी मैं यूज़ किया हूँ।
Hmm.
बट सम ऑफ द सर्विस एज्योर का बढ़िया है, कुछ AWS की बढ़िया है, तो बट आई विल पिक जावा। बट आई थिंक क्लाउड सर्विसेज में AWS है, तो मैं थोड़ा AWS को थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा फेमिलियर हूँ, तो उसे थोड़ा चूज
Hmm.
कर।
So it's like Java plus AWS is equal to your happy place.
हाँ या
Right. Nice. Yeah. So as you are currently working at WIOM, right? So maybe you want to tell something about WIOM.
yeah. So WIOM is a interesting startup, interesting idea in WIOM is working on. So basically, it's a platform centric model. So it's a
Perfect.
centralized
Okay.
model like Ola, Uber, Zomato kind of things. So, but the segment in which WIOM is trying to create a business is different. It's a internet company. It's a
Hmm.
like WIOM has not a internet, but they are internet aggregator kind of platform they are trying to build, just like same Ola, Uber. Like Ola is like Zomato, like Zomato is not a restaurant, but it's a aggregator of a restaurant and the customer who wants to consume the food, right? In this
Right.
same manner, Viom is a trying to build a platform where in India there are lots of local ISP available in India, right? Like I'm not talking about Airtel Geo, these are very big
Hmm.
ISP players. So there are lots around 3 lakhs, around 2 to 3 lakhs local ISP exist in India. So but that market is very structured. So Viom is a building that platform where these local ISP will comes to our platform, and there is another side, there is lots of consumer who wants to consume the internet. Like we are also using home broadband services, like we are doing that broadcast using router only, that Wi-Fi only. We can't do using mobile data, right? Every in India there is a every local that network operator is providing like 1.5 GB per day and
Hmm.
2 GB per day max, right? It's not feasible to purchase every day 6 GB, 10 GB kind of thing, right? But if you check every each day data consumption is around maybe 5 to 10 GB on an average for any Indian. But so WIOM is building that platform where they are trying to uh, set up that whole ecosystem where no one feels okay due to some prices. Okay, I due to some constraint I can't able to use internet, because in the
Hmm.
right now world internet is a very fast thing. So
Right.
having internet is a very it's opened the whole opportunity, like maybe education, entertainment, music, sports, anything. So yeah,
So
so
it's like one plus solution for restaurant is Swiggy, and one plus solution for internet providers is WIOM.
yeah. We also say WIOM is a Uber of internet.
Okay, Uber of internet, nice. So
Yes.
yeah, it makes me jump to the next question. So hardest technical challenge you face kiya ho in your current org?
Hardest, yeah, hardest thing. Hardest. तो सो राइट मैं व्यू में मैं पेमेंट द होल पेमेंट इकोसिस्टम आई एम हैंडलिंग.
Hmm.
सो उसमें लाइक कस्टमर ऑफलाइन पेमेंट भी होती है, ऑनलाइन पेमेंट भी होती है, राइट? सो that the whole microservice is owned by me, the written by me, manage and handle by me in terms of scale also, like okay. So ये चीज़ें मेरे लिए काफ़ी क्रूशियल रही. हार्डेस्ट आई वुड नॉट से, बट काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट रही, क्योंकि लाइक देयर इज ए वन सिंगल पेनी ऑफ अमाउंट ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शन इज हैपनिंग. आई हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दिस, राइट? सो
Right.
लाइक कस्टमर जब भी अपने राउटर का अपना जब भी उसे पे करना होता था, इधर वो ऑनलाइन करते हैं, जैसे वो हमारे ऐप पे हैं एंड देन डू द पेमेंट. सो हैंडलिंग दैट होल दैट इकोसिस्टम, अपार्ट फ्रॉम वी हैव इन हाउस वॉलेट सिस्टम लाइक पेटीएम वॉलेट. So
Hmm.
using that, they do the offline transaction, but handling these also, like because in the online there are lots of things comes, like bank will come, UPI will come, there are lots of things plays in, right? But in the offline payment, the whole like RBI and the bank is WIOM only, right? To handling this transaction, let's suppose user did 100 rupees transaction, but there is some for each users there is some dedicated amount stored in the database, right? Right. So you have to do plus minus kind of things.
Hmm.
But doing
I
these
all
things
that.
is very crucial, right? Let's suppose your user wants to add 10 rupees. Let's suppose I add 1000 rupees. So it's very scary, right? So, but yeah, in terms of criticality, that's the challenge. Like if there's a in concurrency kind of things, if there's a for one user, three requests will come at the same time, then how will
Hmm.
server response? So these things is comes in my recent these 3 years of experience in the WIOM. So that's the thing I think. You making the system fault tolerant, like there's no issue in terms of monetary kind of thing. It's a challenge, hardest challenges for me.
I can see the happiness you have like when you are sharing what you have worked on and what challenges you have faced. So
Yeah.
you are really motivated, it seems. Happy to see engineers working for their org with so much enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really.
Other than that, I have seen that you have received the Rising Rockstar Award, right?
Yeah.
So what has been that? Has that been the proudest moment of your career so far, or is there anything else?
So actually, I got this award after joining after 3 months. So
3 months.
yeah, so at that time I don't able to like at that time I have only 1 year of experience. But in terms of I think I don't think it's my proudest moment, because at that time
Hmm.
I didn't feel okay. I did very crucial things for the company or not. But
Hmm.
right at that time I have no idea. But yeah, for me, the crucial moment where I introduced DynamoDB. So actually, it's our tech team is very small when I joined. So when I joined in the tech team, there's only three people. Okay, so I
Hmm.
joined WIOM at the seed stage. Okay, so there's only three people in the tech team. I was the fourth guy in the tech team.
Oh.
Yeah, so but right now it's around 35 members in the tech team.
Hmm.
But having that legacy SQL table, like around it's around 100 tables exist in the production SQL database. बट समटाइम्स होती क्या थी, इफ स्केल बढ़ती थी तो क्वेरी टाइम्स
Hmm.
भी बढ़ जाते थे. तो इस तरह की
Hmm.
चैलेंजेस जब फेस हुई, तब आई सो कि ओके, दिस इज लेग रूम लाइक कि एक नई डेटाबेस लेके आए जो स्केलेबल हो, जहाँ राइट नाउ अभी एसक्यूएल सर्वर, क्योंकि एक सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के बाद एसक्यूएल में एक प्रॉब्लम होने लग जाती है कि चल स्केलिंग का बहुत बड़ा इशू हो जाता है, मतलब लाइक
हम्म,
आपने स्टार्टिंग कर लिया कि चलो स्टार्ट कर देते हैं डेटाबेस को, ओके, बट लॉजिकल लेवल पे आपने डिसाइड कर दिया ओके सम सर्टेन ऑफ यूजर विल गो टू दिस डेटाबेस, सम सर्टेन but still it gives a lot of like SQL also have gives immense opportunity, like whatever the query you want use in the production, let's suppose select hashtag anything, like you can write the that kind of query which takes lots of computation power, right? But
right.
moving in the production database we need we don't need any this kind of data that database query, so that it
Hmm.
consumes lots of resources. So that's why I shifted. Okay, what's the alternative approach to tackle this solution? Then I deep dive to NoSQL database. I started exploring MongoDB. I also talked with MongoDB team also. Then I saw DynamoDB. I saw like there's a one paper published in DynamoDB. So it's ensured that we will give the response within single digit millisecond.
Single, nice.
Yeah, so less than 10 millisecond.
Hmm.
So some
So,
of the
but
like
basically, it's just like been happy to see that in just 3 months you went from the new guy to the company database architect.
yeah. So
Right.
start thinking that way. How like I have also keen interest in database, like because
Hmm.
everything is totally NC with the where data is stored. Like maybe you create front end, back end database, but everything data is big.
Yeah, right.
Your business decision taking also decided by data only, right? So
Hmm.
everything is data. If you have data, you have everything. Like you
Right.
can create front end, you can change the front end, okay, you can change the code base of the back end, but you can't change the data. You only thing you can do just change the schema of the database. Apart from that, you can't do anything. You have to, yeah. So that's the uniqueness of database. So, okay. But some of the people are lost. Like, okay, this is a database. Say we store the database, but having said that, like, database is very crucial. Like where we
Hmm.
have to store. Like in India, in the world, there's only two kind of database exist. Either you store database in the SSD, like in the disk, or maybe a RAM kind of thing. So it's a I think persistent database or not persistent database.
Right.
Only two kind of database exist. Okay, so but coming to our my problem, so I start exploring that. Okay, I have to find new database. So I went okay, it gives me that it gives the response single digit millisecond. You also handle the
Hmm.
scale also. Okay, it's auto scaling also enabled. Okay, then I explored the DynamoDB. I think when I migrate first table, I think I migrate first table. I think in 1 week only.
Oh,
So,
super.
yeah, so in the production, so this is a very crucial, like for me, it's a proudest moment for me, for because my CTO also think that okay, we are doing something, okay, we are introducing new database. They also don't not aware like. Like we are doing like kind of prototype exercise, right? We also don't know like where it's go in the future, right? But right now in the WIOM it's around 40 tables shifted in the data
Oh,
in the DynamoDB.
super.
So it's around if 2 years back, if 100% tables exist in the SQL, right now I think around 60% table exist in the DynamoDB. So that's the user. But writing the whole code, the architecture, like how to plug in, plug out. So I also wrote a library. Not I also not used DynamoDB library. Like they give some of the API. Obviously, I
Hmm.
use underlying architecture of DynamoDB, like use calling API. But I write a library where any developer will write the query without having knowledge of like how DynamoDB works. So,
Hmm.
so what I did, there's a best part in this exercise. What I like, it's a proud moment for me because whatever the library I wrote, I didn't take a session for like for the whole tech team. Okay, how to ship this table to this table for from SQL to NoSQL, how to write the query and how to
Hmm.
fetch the data, how to insert. I think I just published that DynamoDB that library dot and like every teams are, it's so readable so that everyone is understand. Okay, if I have to insert, I have to create a model. Okay, I have to create a model, insert that model name, and if I'm to just dot insert, and this thing insert handle everything. If you want to update, just create the object and then call update method and just pass the object, underlying whatever the middleware I wrote, that handle
Hmm.
all the case. Let's suppose,
Right.
like in the update, there's one challenge. Let's suppose there is a one column for any table. Let's suppose there is a one table, in the table there is a one record where column is integer. Okay, but initial value integer is 0, right? Yeah, let's suppose user insert that value 5. Okay,
Okay.
okay, you know, no SQL has no structure, no schema, right?
Yeah.
It's a schema list. So you can also insert around 40, let's suppose, variable,
Hmm.
40 column, okay, in this table, that table. But if I want to update only 2 to 3 value only, okay, but the rest of the data, whatever the data stored in the database, I don't want to alter that. Okay, but whenever developer will write the code, okay, create the instance, that instance, and then call update method, then
Hmm.
it's pass only that three value
Oh,
which they want to
right.
update only. But this 37 I don't want to update, right?
Hmm.
But handling this thing is, but I handle this scenario, okay, in very smartly way. So what I did, so every data type has a default value, right?
Hmm.
Integer has 0, boolean has a false kind of thing. So what, okay, if there is a nothing will come, default value come, I just ignore that thing.
Okay.
So in that way, this 37 value is by default ignored, because whenever the developer will update only three's value, so they write the code, okay, create the instance, they pass only three value. This 37 he didn't type, right? So in that way I handle. So I think that's the proudest moment for me to in the org level to setting taking this kind of decision, like introducing new
Right.
tables and do whole exercise. And for the last 2 years company using that DynamoDB
Oh,
with
super.
my code base only. What
Hmm.
I wrote code 2 years back, that the only code used right now only. So it's in terms of scale also it's working. I know maybe
Hmm.
there's some maybe upgradation I have to rewrite, maybe some optimize I have to, but yeah, for now it's working. So I think that's the proudest moment for me.
Right. Yeah, it was interesting to listen like how you implemented your middleware library and it's being used by the whole company right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear the problems and the solution itself. So yeah, let's get to the end part of this session. So, of this section, sorry. So, I will shoot out two interesting questions to you. You just need to give a one-line answers to them. And yeah, let's go ahead. So, let's say if you have unlimited resources, what's the one software that you would love to build?
Actually मुझे ना like I so much passionate about database, so मुझे ना
Yeah, I can see that. Yes.
सो मुझे ना like so I explored, okay, persistent database के बारे में कहा, okay, डिस्क में स्टोर कर लेंगे every storing in SSD solid state, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But एक challenges जो मुझे face हुई, like in for the RAM thing, for the for we RAM based database, so it's like Redis is a RAM based database. There is
Hmm.
alternative RAM based also memcache kind of things, but अभी तक एक कोई एक डेटाबेस मैंने रैम बेस नहीं देखा है जो जो मतलब persistent हो, जहाँ पे आई कैन डू द क्वेरी. फॉर एग्जांपल,
Oh, right.
let's suppose in the Redis you can store NoSQL data, NoSQL data, right? Redis उस पर क्वेरी करने देता है, बट सम लुआ स्क्रिप्ट काइंड ऑफ थिंग बहुत लिमिटेड है, लेकिन वो बहुत ज़्यादा
Hmm.
स्केलेबल, बहुत स्केलेबल नहीं है, मतलब लाइक बहुत ज़्यादा फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी नहीं है उसमें.
Hmm.
So there is no any NoSQL RAM based database where I can uh, filter out using some filter out the data using some query, like if कोई कंडीशन डाल के कि अगर नो एसक्यूएल, क्योंकि लेट्स सपोज कि रेडिस में अगर एक फील्ड है, एक ही डेटा है उसमें 30-40 फील्ड है, ओके,
Right.
30-40 फील्ड है, पर उसमें मुझे और मे बी अनदर क्या कहते हैं, लेट्स सपोज एक की है उसमें एरे ऑफ जेसन है ना, बट उस एरे ऑफ जेसन में मुझे कुछ ही जेसन चाहिए बेस्ड ऑन सम फिल्टर, तो वो कर पाना थोड़ा मुश्किल है. तो
Hmm.
मेरे पास अनलिमिटेड रिसोर्स रहा तो मैं आई विल डेफिनेटली build a NoSQL RAM based database where I can do the query.
Or it's like a database which has no patience, zero tolerance at all.
हाँ so
Everything you get in like boom,
हाँ
right?
हाँ लाइक
Okay.
आप जैसे लाइक कि आप एसक्यूएल में आप वेयर कंडीशन लिख पाते हो बट इन रेडिस आप जनरली नहीं देखते हो कि वेयर
Hmm.
कंडीशन वहाँ पे राइट सो बट क्योंकि वो उसके लिए बना भी नहीं है बहुत ज़्यादा
Right.
की वैल्यू है ना बट देर इज सम चैलेंजेस कम्स इन माई डेली टास्क वेयर आई सॉ ओके अगर इस टाइप की कैपेबिलिटीज रहती तो थोड़ी सी सिस्टम थोड़ी और इन्हेंस हो जाती बट वहाँ पे
Hmm.
एक बॉटलनेक लगा मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा रिसर्च भी किया
Oh.
but मुझे कुछ सोल्यूशन मिला नहीं जो मतलब इस टाइप के थे एक कंपनी है राइट नाउ फॉरगेटिंग आई थिंक $500 million वैल्यूएशन है उसकी वो लिटिल बिट थोड़ी इस टाइप की सर्विसेज दे रही है जहाँ पे आप रैम बेस्ड डेटाबेस ही है मतलब कैसे काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स ही है नो एसक्यूएल है और वहाँ पे आप
Hmm.
क्वेरी कर सकते हो आई ऑल्सो यूज दिस वो 2-3 फिल्टर पे देते भी है और जो कि
Okay.
इंटरेस्टिंग ओके there is no technical limitation somebody already trying to build up the solution
Hmm.
so I not
Yeah,
remembering
maybe one day you will make that and you will be a scientist researcher for the same.
yes.
Yeah, that leads to me to jump to the next question. Like, I can see you have published a research on COVID-19 detection using deep learning. So the interesting questions that comes up to mind is like, what do you think? Will AI will be able to replace all the doctors or AI will fail?
it is the same question like AI will replace engineer or not
Right. But you are an engineer, so I can't say that to
okay
you. That's why I use doctors here.
but I don't think AI will replace a doctor. So I think it's help the doctor. So it's AI will work as assistant of a doctor. So
Hmm.
maybe assistant have lots of knowledge, like compared to that doctor. But doctor have like let's suppose there is some patient will come to diagnosis the cancer kind of thing, right? So doctor maybe do some testing and all of it. Okay, now what the difference between AI and doctor? Okay, let's suppose in the like let's say 10 years back there's no AI, right? Right now there is AI, but 10 years back there's no AI. So doctor will read the whole patient that record, okay, the test result basically. Okay, then
Hmm.
according to their experience also, they conclude, okay, right now patient is in this stage, like whatever their metric or how will decide. But in terms of in like in each day, let's suppose that 100% doctor is seeing the report, okay, but you will maybe it takes around 6 to 8 hours to do the whole things for a one doctor. Okay, it's वो every day कर रहा है आज भी कर रहा है
Hmm.
कल भी कर रहा है okay. बट इन द AI उसके प्लेस में एक AI है जो कि उनके बिहाफ में दे समराइज द होल थिंग फॉर द 100% इन द होल डे ओके फॉर दिस पर्सन दिस इज द थिंग्स विच इज important. So doctor will not will give time to see irrelevant data which is like maybe some of the data user did the CBC test and let's suppose the white blood cell and all of things are already good, but
Hmm.
why doctor will see this thing, okay, so that irrelevant data, okay, AI will disqualify, okay, the whatever the relevant data where there is scope, okay, there is some issue is in this kind of things, so doctor will see only that kind of data, so it's
Hmm.
help in that way also, just to finding in the fast like what will be possibilities, maybe AI will also help, okay, this is the pattern of this patient for the last 2 to 3 years, right? So okay, maybe there is some this kind of maybe disease will have to be for that patient. I think in that way AI will help, but AI is not will never replace a doctor.
Okay. It's
It's
like AI is just a tool. It will never going to replace the human touch we have.
never.
Right. So yeah, we are done with the section one of this inter. So yeah, let's start with the section three of this podcast, fun and offbeat.
Okay,
So for this section, I would like you to give but finger first answers. That's it.
okay,
Let's make it interesting. Whatever comes to your mind at first, give it. Throw it. Okay.
definitely.
So yeah, the first question, like, do you play any sports?
Yes, table tennis.
Table tennis. Okay. Do you have any favorite sports person?
Yes, Rohit Sharma from cricket.
Oh, basically different games, right?
I just we can just I watch. Not good in playing, that's why.
Okay. So, what do you think? Sports versus engineering?
In terms of
Difficulty?
difficulty, I think what sports versus
Engineering, software engineering.
I think sports.
Sports is more difficult.
Yes.
That's why we choose engineering, right? The easy part.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your go-to hobby if you need a break from tech?
Writing maybe a technical blog like or maybe creating some content on technical
Oh,
technology. So
maybe you can share some blog links and I will put them in the description so that people can read.
yeah, actually I wrote some of the Medium blog article around it's around maybe 8, 9, 10 I think.
Oh, super. We will share them too. So, other question is like, what do you think is the most overhyped technology right now?
I think that's the virtual reality like a metaverse kind of thing. So
You're questioning the meta itself directly, right? Okay. Hmm. The interesting question. If your life has debugging,
mm,
what will be the funniest debugging message for your life?
mm, 404. I,
404.
yeah, for my friends, whoever I don't want to reach out, so it's a not found, not exist.
Okay. I would use a more simpler one, which I faced, or even you might have faced. The classic one. TLE on test case 1000 out of 1000.
Yes.
Right. So maybe a longer answer. One career advice you would give to your younger self.
Just start thinking and go deep and deep for in any problem. That if you learn this skill, it's too much.
Nice. And what if you were not a software engineer? What you would be and why?
So my childhood dream was becoming an IS officer. So I'm from Bihar, so that's in our so that's the only thing.
Yeah, nice. So it's like if you switch your career, you will be from debugging code to debugging society.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But one thing is common debugging.
Right. And what's the non-tech skill every software engineer should have? A must-have skill, non-tech.
I think a communication, I think, to express whatever thoughts in your mind, just speak up your mind. I think that's the best
Hmm. Nice. And the last one, if you compare software engineering with the sports,
thing. Okay.
what sport will be? It will be.
Not able to, like in the software and versus sports.
So let's say you want to map software engineering to one of the particular sport.
Okay.
What it will be?
Okay, which needs debugging and running. I think many of games is like maybe cricket also or maybe like chess also. Like if like for the practice thing when you're running the test cases, right? So it's a practicing that match, right? So, but when there's a final can say with the actual tournament, that's our production system, I suppose.
Super nice analogy.
So the for every sports it's the same thing like debugging things and the system is running in the production. So
Hmm.
every I think every game has some sort of natures kind of things. But if I have to pick one, it's hard. Like maybe chess. So it's maybe it's you
I've seen many chess
mental
people being
basically.
great at competitive programming too.
So basically, it's a mental kind of thing. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying chess.
So yeah, we are done with section 3 and the end part of the podcast. This was such a blast. बहुत मजा आया. कोई
Uh,
final words listener के लिए?
यार बढ़िया यार, दिव्यांश भैया का पूरा ब्लॉग देखो। बहुत अच्छी चीज़ें सीखने को मिलेगी, है ना। और
अच्छी चीज सीखने ना भी मिले मजा आएगा।
यस, मजा
दैट्स व्हाट आई वुड
आएगा। और
से।
यू सॉ डिफरेंट साइड ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, लाइक फ्रॉम ग्रेजुएट फ्रॉम टॉप टीयर वन कॉलेज, और मे बी नॉट, बट क्या इंजीनियरिंग एक्चुअल है, मतलब लाइक लोग क्या सोचते हैं, क्या है, मतलब किस वे में थोड़ी सोचनी चाहिए। आई थिंक वो चीज़ें थोड़ी सी मुझे लगती है बाकी ऑडियंस को थोड़ी लर्निंग और अच्छा लगेगा देखने को कंटेंट।
राइट।
तो होप सो, देखते हैं कैसा जाता है।
So yeah, thank you for being my first guest.
थैंक्स, थैंक
It
यू।
was fun, and thank you for turning in.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आई एम
Just
सो
last
एक्साइटेड।
words from me.
हाँ,
Yeah,
क्या कह
some
रहा
last words from me. If life throws an error, try debugging it with a coffee. I guess you might be also using the same sometimes.
या डेफिनेटली, बट आई ट्राई विद द चाय।
Yeah, different preferences always. Do hit like, subscribe, share button. This is just the beginning of Over the Threshold. See you in the next segment.
चलो।